Hi everybody. So I wanted to show you today how I would have put my submission together if I was doing assignment one for this class. I thought it might be helpful for you guys to see from a photographer's standpoint, not a publisher's standpoint, but from a photographer who has obviously submitted a ton of sessions to a bunch of different blogs, been published in the past, how I would have looked at my session and put together for submitting it to either a blog or a magazine. So going over the images that I showed you guys originally of Kate in the pink dress, the one that I showed you kind of how I went out and I shot for this publication, I took those images and I put together basically my 8 to 10 images that I would have selected, and I'm going to show you in the order that I put those together and how I put those together so you can kind of see, everything that I've been talking about kind of reiterated. So here I have my folder, and as you can see, if I look at the name, I named it as me, Lexi Bornberg, and then I would have probably always put at the end what I was submitting it to. So if I was submitting it to Lemonade and Lenses, I'll just put Lexi Bornberg Lemonade and Lenses, or Lexi Bornberg Seniorology, or whatever I'm submitting to. Some blogs ask for you to specifically name your folder or something. I always tend to put my name on everything I can. Again, if this folder gets moved on that publisher's desktop or to a different folder and they see it, they're going to know it's mine right away because my name is on it, and they're going to know what it's for right away because I'm going to put obviously that blog or magazine I'm submitting to on that folder as well. So if we open up the folder, you can see I have all my images named after my name and in the order that I want that publisher to see them. And automatically, it's going to put them in this, but if she decides to go in and, hit arrange by name or arrange by something, it's still going to keep them in that order. Again, make sure you name your folders after your name because, if this image accidentally ends up, who knows, somewhere else, and that editor sees those pictures, I know right away they're my images and they don't have to go through and try to figure out whose pictures they are because in most cases they're not going to. So, I just kind of want to go through like I did with all the other sessions when I was critiquing them so you could see them. And then I actually included a link below in the forum that you can see what this blog would look like if a blog actually published it. So you can see what it looks like in a folder, and then you can actually see what it looks like in a blog post because obviously there is a little difference there. So I'm just going to go through and show you kind of the order that I put my images. So I know when we're talking about the critiquing, I like to say start with an image that establishes what your session of. So here I have my image of Kate. It's a portrait. It's probably one of the strongest images in this whole collection, so you want to start off really, really strong. But again, it establishes that it's it's a portrait session of a single girl. I'm not going to make some guy pop up randomly a little later on or anything, but this is what the whole session is about. So as I go from this image, which is just a portrait with her looking at the camera, a strong image, I go to a diptych of basically the same picture, but with a different facial expression and a little closer crop. I'm very simple in my posing. I don't do a lot of extravagant things. So this is just my style and how I like to submit my pictures. Again, that's completely up to you guys, but you want to make sure, your portraits aren't so similar as where the publisher is just going to overlook them. So here I have another portrait. It's a little different. The crop's different and her eyes are looking down. And then over here I have a detailed shot of the crown because I don't have a lot of obviously a lot of props in here, so I kind of wanted to point out one of my prop pictures and one of my more detailed pictures right there as well. And as you saw that I went from a single image right to a diptych because those look really nice next to each other in a blog post. If you do vertical after vertical after vertical, they don't look as nice as, kind of changing from vertical to diptych to horizontal, etc., etc. So my next image goes to horizontal. I just have an up-close picture of the crown again. Detailed shots. Blogs love detailed shots. My next image is more of, it's kind of a different image for me. I was kind of playing around. I'm still not sure if I like it or not. But it's another close-up of the crown. Obviously, the crown is in focus here, and the girl's a little out of focus. But it's just something different because I've been telling you guys different over the past, week and a couple days. So I wanted to show that I do try to push myself out there, and I do try to, try something different, see if the other publishers like it or if they don't like it. The next image is another diptych. Again, I've been going from vertical to diptych, horizontal, vertical to diptych again, so I don't have the same orientation right next to each other. And this one is just another portrait. It's a different pose, obviously, but still very straightforward. That's what I like to shoot. That's my style. And right next to it is a close-up picture of my other prop, which was her necklace. Again, I didn't have a lot of props, so, I did try to take pictures of the two props that I was using. After that, I have a picture of the girl twirling. And then right after that, I have a picture of her twirling again. So I kind of end with that little storyline right there, that movement that kind of drags you until the end of that session. Again, like I told you guys before, it's really hard to submit a session at 8 to 10 images. Most people request, at least 15, if not more. But I wanted to show you guys what I would have done in that instance, of what I was requiring of you guys. Now, obviously, I'm going to go through. I'm also going to critique this from a publisher standpoint. So you guys also know that, not everybody is perfect. Nothing is done perfectly. Right after this session, I really, really wish that I took a picture of just the greenhouse that she was under right here. Like to step back and just take a picture of this just by itself. It was a really cool location. There was a lot of fun things going on. Texture wise, you can see the old pallets back here and then the old greenhouse, top of the greenhouse. I really wish I stepped back and took a picture of that to include, because like I've been telling you guys, location is kind of the same as props, kind of step back and look at things a little differently. So I really wish that I did that at the same time that I was shooting this session. Another thing that I would point out, this image right here, it was shot in the greenhouse. You can't really tell in any of these pictures, but right up here, this is all wood and this is mesh, and this wood right here gets a little darker, and this is where this was shot on. But from this point of view, it does look different. It looks like it's a different location, and I do feel like it makes it a little choppy. So I kind of wish I shot this maybe on more of a lighter part, like over here on kind of the mesh. You can't really tell, but this is like chicken wire mesh over here, and then over here is just old board. But I kind of wish I would have shot this different because it doesn't seem like it's the same location. So that's just kind of going through and kind of critiquing things. Like I said, when I sit back and I look at my submissions, I do critique it. I do think that I wish I did this better. So next time I go out, I can go, okay, well, now I know that I'm going to push myself to do this. Or I'm going to make a note to make sure I do this. So that way I'm continuing to grow and I'm continuing to make my submissions better and better and better. Obviously, as a photographer, you always want to continue to grow, and nothing's ever going to be perfect. So there's nothing wrong with sitting down and looking at your pictures and critiquing them. That way, next time when you do it, you can try to do a little better, you can grow, and then when you look over those, maybe you'll find something new that you can critique. So I really hope this has helped you guys, and like I said, I put in that post in the forum a link to the blog post on laminated lenses. I just put it up. It's not actually on the blog or anything. It's just a page that you guys can view, but that way you can actually scroll down and view what this session would look like in an actual blog post, so you can understand when I talk about putting like a vertical over a diptych over a horizontal next to a vertical, and not just putting like vertical, 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 or horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. You can kind of see how it tells more of a story, and it kind of pulls you down the post. So if you guys have any questions about any of this, again, please leave a comment below, and I'd be more than happy to answer them.